Welcome back to another Young Onset Circuit Training class. I'm Lauren Lewis with Power for Parkinson's. Thank you for joining me this morning. Before we get started, let me just remind you again that this is a high repetition, high energy class meant for people with mild symptoms of Parkinson's disease. You will need to be able to exercise for an hour comfortably standing, and you will need to be able to get on and off the floor. I highly recommend that you have a chair nearby for some of our modifications and for balance and safety, or please exercise next to a wall, again for safety. For today's class, you may want to have some light weights. For some of our exercises. If you don't have weights, you can certainly go through any of these exercises without the weights, just using the exact same motions, or if you have some water bottles at your disposal, that would be great. That'll add a little resistance, or even some cans from your pantry. As long as they're the same size, they'll also offer a great some resistance as well. So if you have not warmed up yet, please stop your video now and do maybe a 4-minute warm-up, something nice and mild to just get your body prepared. It's really important that you warm up before any exercise to prepare your body for exercise and lower the risk of injury. If you are ready and warmed up, so am I. Let's get going. So we're going to do a 6-exercise circuit. Each one of these exercises are compound exercises. They're meant to address large muscles in the body, and at the end of our 6 exercises, you will have a full body workout. Each of these exercises also will focus on a common symptom of Parkinson's disease. If you do not exhibit that particular symptom, you will still benefit from really exaggerating and using those motions just to, again, you want to make sure that we're delaying the disease. It may not be a symptom that you will ever exhibit, but you may, so we want to make sure to really address it. So, all right, 1 minute for each exercise. It's a timed minute. Hopefully you're going to be able to see a timer. This is our new addition to our class today. Our first exercise is a marching bridge with a chest press, cross chest press. Here's what I mean by that. I'm going to grab my weights here. A bridge is on your back, is a position. You're down here. You're going to push on your heels and bring your back up off the floor into a bridge. You want to make sure that you're not arching your back or going too high, that your hips are tucked underneath you, keeping your lower body safe. Another modification, this is actually making it a little more challenging. So for those of you that want to challenge a little more, you can put your legs on some kind of elevation. It doesn't have to be as high as a chair, but that will also allow you to lift a little higher. Now the marching part comes from here. So you're going to lift one leg at a time and bring that knee towards your chest. The other modification is by lifting one leg at a time. If that's too strenuous for you, keep your hips on the ground. Don't go into a marching bridge. Just keep them just slightly off the ground, pushing on your heels. All of those modifications, all of those ways of doing it are all working your glutes. So either way, any of those ways, you're still getting plenty out of it. And here's the crossing chest press. Your hips are up one at a time. You're crossing one arm at a time toward the other leg. All right, so I think I've described it hopefully well enough for you. I'm going to put on our music and we're going to get that timer going. All right, let's get that timer on the clock. Here we go, 60 seconds. Pushing down with your heels, lift your hips up and down, up and down. Now you can go at your pace, not at mine, but we're trying to lift one knee at a time, pushing on your heel, pushing through your chest, working all those muscles. This is truly a full body exercise because we're working core, glutes, quadriceps, chest, shoulders. Have I left anything out? Yes, upper back. So we've got all those muscles working. Here we go. Now push up and down. Make sure your belly is tight. How are we doing? Pushing down. Nice work. Good. Stay with it. Just a few more seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's coming all the way up. I'm going to turn that music off for a second. You want to get off the floor nice and safely, so you're going to ask you to roll all the way onto all fours. Take your dominant leg, most of you that's your right leg, hands on that leg, push down and come on up. All right, so that's our first exercise. Our next exercise is all about legs. We're going to strengthen those legs. So we're going to start off with the right leg. It's a front back lunge. Front back lunge is a large step forward, 90 degrees in both legs. And then the same leg is going to go back. That's your back lunge. And again, same form, 90 degrees in both legs. And then we come in, and then the other leg goes front into a lunge and then goes back. And I'm going to add an upper body to make it more full body exercise. So I'm going to add, when the right leg goes forward, the left arm comes to a bicep curl. And then when we go back, we're always going to do a fly. And a fly is an outsideward lateral motion. Both arms are bent slightly and up. So when we switch legs, opposite arm does the curl. Both arms do the fly. All right, I'm going to put on our music and our timer. Let's give that one a go. Ready? Timer's on. Here we go. And back. This one takes a little thinking, I think, right? Because we're using one arm and then we're using both arms. Think about your form. Think about where your legs are. Think about really making sure that you're taking wide, long steps. You want to make sure that that knee never comes in front of the toe. You just start to feel that nice warmth in your arms. Yay. First round, too, huh? This does take some balance. Make sure that chair is nearby if you need it. 10 seconds to go on that clock. And time. Great job, nice. All right, let's go on to our third exercise. Okay, our third exercise is a plank, so we're going to need to get back on the floor with an arm extension and a windmill. You can use the weight. I'm not going to. You can use the weight, and I'll show you how. You can do this on a chair or on the floor. Show you the floor first. So a plank is a long line. Your body is nice and tall. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your abs are tight. You want to make sure your hips are not up in the air. They're right here. All right, your legs, you may want to hold those legs nice and wide for the windmill. So we're going to start off with arm extensions, which means one arm at a time goes up, arm extension, and here's that windmill all the way up. And you're only going to go straight above where your shoulder is. Try not to go behind you, straight up. And then we're going to switch arm, and then we're going to rotate all the way up to the other side. This can be done on your knees, no problem. Straight up, you're still working all the same muscles. Big rotation only as far as your shoulder. Or to make it more appropriate for some of you, you can do this elevated a little higher, make it a little easier, but still lots of work. Arm extensions, and then you just bring that arm all the way up. All right, those are all the different ways of doing this. Decide which way you want to. I'm going to get my weights out of the way so I don't get hurt. Timer is going to go on in a second. All right, let's put the timer on. We got a minute. Here we go. I'm going to turn a little so you can see what I'm doing. Now, think about working all those muscles. What are we doing? We're working shoulders and chest right here. Shoulder rotator. We're working shoulder stabilizers. We're not falling over. We're stabilizing those shoulders. Shoulders, chest, biceps, triceps, and a lot of core. So we've got all those muscles working, lifting and reaching. Pull your belly tight. Concentrate on what you're doing. Lift nice and high. Now, we did increase our time this week. If you may have noticed, we normally go 50 seconds. I brought you up to 60 this week. So if you need to stop, that's not cheating. It's working at your level. We've got 10 seconds to go. I think we're doing great. Pull your belly tight. And around. And time. Yay! Stay down because we're going to rotate over into a V seat for our next exercise, so you need to stay down. The next exercise is a V seat, which means you're sitting in a V, nice and tall, abs are tight, chest is open, and we're going to grab one weight. Forgot about that part. Grab your weight, or if you don't have a weight, you can just pretend your legs can be on the floor. You're going to swap and drop. Swap, pick it up from one side, swap it to the other side, and drop it. And then the other side. So we're just swap, V-seat, swap, and drop. To make this more fun, and you know who you are, and you know what I mean by that, legs come off the floor. Now remember, if you've made that decision to come off the floor, that doesn't mean you have to go the whole minute. So you can start on the floor. Try not to let the opposite arm do any work. The opposite arm's not holding you up. But decide which way you want to do it and give it a try either way, both ways. All right, timer's going on. Here we go. Reach. Swap and drop. Pull your belly tight. So this exercise, I don't think I need to tell you because you're going to feel it almost immediately. This is all core. We're working obliques, your side of your abdominals. We're working the front of your abdominals. Depending on how heavy a weight you're picking up, you may be working a little shoulder, but for the most part, it's really abdominals. So have some fun with this while we build our six-pack. That's what we're doing here, right? Pull up and around. Woo! Chest up. Be good to your back. Try not to round out. All right, we're almost done. Just a few more. Come on, you can do this. We got it. And time. Woo! How much are we loving that? Okay, now we have to get up off the floor again and again. Same thing. We're going to start on all fours, come up to one leg and pushing down. Come on up. Great job. All right, the last exercise, again, you can choose to use the weight or not. This is a 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock lunge, which means we're going sideways instead of front and back. We're using different muscles, inner and outer thigh mostly, and a lot of glutes. So there's the 3 o'clock is here, coming in, and then we're going to do a knee, 3 o'clock, and then we go to the other side, 9 o'clock. Sitting back, make sure your knee does not go over your toe. You're sitting back. Come to that knee, down and up. Once again, down, up, down, and you hold your weight right here. Go to the opposite side, up, down. So grab your weight or not. Come on and join me. I'm putting my music on. We got our timer on. And here we go. 3 o'clock. Sit back. To make this more fun, you can sit way back and really go for the floor. And you can hold this up in that knee right here. Ready? You can hold this for just a few seconds too, making it more fun. By fun, I mean harder because you're really working on balance. When you drop, make sure your back is flat, not round, being good to that lower back. Woo! This can become very cardio if you go too fast. If that's what you're looking for, that's how you do it. And again, I'm getting that arm that's not involved out of the way. All right, we're almost done. And time. All right, great. We've got only one more exercise to do. The next exercise is our cardio exercise. I always like to end our circuit with a cardio. This time you're going to run and squat. So what I'm doing here is actually going fast and slow at the same time. When I say run and squat, you don't have to ever run. You can bring it to a march like this. Run, and every 3 or 4, your choice. 1, 2, 3, squat. 1, 2, 3, squat. That's what I'm going to do. You can do as many as you want. You can just run and every so often stop. Your choice. But the point of this is getting that heart rate up, being good to your body, being careful not to lean forward on those squats. I'm going to put our timer on, I'm going to put our music on, and I'm going to get my smile on because this is my favorite part of the circuit. Here we go. And again, this is just at your pace, whatever it is, but I want to get that heart rate up, okay? Try to get that heart rate up, but we're doing that by slowing down and speeding up. Slowing down and speeding up. This is also where the minute gets very long. Woo! Are you staying with it? Nice job. Stay. Keep going. You got it. It's only a minute. It's a long minute, but it's only a minute. To increase your heart rate, you can use those bigger arms instead of just your legs, bigger arms. To slow it down, make it much smaller. If it's too fast for you, bring it down. We only have 10 seconds to go. Finish it up, you got it. All right. And time. Walk it off, give yourself a hand. Great job, first set. We're gonna go through this 2 more times. Please get some water, walk it off, get that heart rate down, because remember, we're getting back on the floor for our first exercise, marching bridge with the chest press. So while you're getting that heart rate down, let me explain the second round is all about Parkinson's symptoms. So our first exercise, the marching bridge, we're working on gait, working on really lifting those legs, reminding the brain to lift the legs when we walk, getting away from that shuffle walk, okay? And then we're also working, again, gait, using opposite arm to opposite leg. That's for balance and for more natural walking. So think about that, really exaggerate it if you can. Here we go. I'm gonna put my music on, timer's on, and go. Bridge. Uh-oh. Opposite leg. Think about really lifting that knee if you can. By lifting that knee higher, you're still pushing a little harder on those glutes, so you're working the muscles a little harder, but you're also retraining that brain to work with opposites and to lift. Studies have shown by exaggerating motions that are lost or diminished because of Parkinson's, you can regain them or certainly delay some of these motions and movements by repetitive motion, by working on it, exercising, keep pushing through it. Great job, stay with it, lift up, push nice and high, lift high, woo! 10, here we go, almost done, lift. Don't you love that timer? Good, and done. All right, we do have to stand up for our next exercise, so come on up and join me. The next exercise is the front back lunge with the curl and fly. So the curl and fly are really just to strengthen the upper body. The curl using the opposite, just like we just did with the marching, we're working, reminding the brain to go opposites, contralaterally, but it also, we're working on not just lifting the leg, but going nice and wide. So we want to not just work on shuffle, but we want to make sure that we're not taking those little steps. We want to remind the brain to take long, wide steps. Music's coming on. We're working on those front, back lunges. Go. Woo. Curl and fly. Opposite. Curl and fly. I'm going to give you something else to think about while you're doing this. I want you to think of the number 7, 11, 15, and 20. Here we go. 7, 11, 15, 20. Just keep saying that. You're going to need it for the next round. 7, 11, 15, 20. Keep going. 7, 11, 15, 20, just a few more. 7, 11, perfect. 15, and we're done. 20. All right, we'll come back to that in the next round, the last round. Great job. Time to hit the floor again for our plank, arm extensions, and windmill. This time, what we're working on is range of motion. You want to really lift that body nice and high. Many people don't even realize that their range of motion is becoming diminished because of the Parkinson's, so we want to make sure that we're fully extending the body, and that's also what the plank will do, and that reaching. Think about I want you to pretend that I'm in front of you, and I'm grabbing those wrists and pulling on you so that you're really extending. Timer's going on. 1 minute. Here we go. Reach, reach. Now we're going to bring all the way around and down. Reach, reach, really reach, and up. The other benefit for this, and I forgot to mention it, is rigidity. We're working against that rigid motion that so many people find their upper body becomes rigid. So we're being a little more fluid in this rotation. Belly tight. Think about not turning and twisting your hips quite so much as as your body wants to do. Try to just turn your upper body, your trunk, and rotate. Pulling tight, look down, make sure your arms and legs are straight, especially on that rotation. Woo! How are we doing so far? So good? All right. Almost done. You got it. You're doing great. And time. Stay down. V-seat, swap and drop are next. And as I said about that rotation, this is another perfect example of rotating using that trunk in a more fluid motion instead of all that rigid motion. So we're reminding the body to move fluidly. But in this particular exercise, we're also working contra. We're working opposites. So we're going from one side to the other, crossing the midline. And as an added attraction, an added benefit, and probably the best one, is we're working balance. And everyone needs balance exercises. So I'm going to put on our music. We're going to strengthen our balance and strengthen all those things together. Here we go. Music's on. Timer's on. Here we go. Other hand is not involved. Pull and rotate. Now to make it more fun, if you want, try a few without the legs. Down and pull, down and pull. And you see I'm losing my balance? That's great because it's forcing all those muscles to work a little harder to keep me up. I'm really having fun now, huh? Pull and drop. Ten seconds left. You can do this. We're almost done. And time. Whew. Nice and easy. Roll over. Take a moment. Roll over onto all fours. Get the weight out of your way. One hand on your stronger leg. Head stays above your chest. Pull up and up onto both legs. The next exercise we're working on is the 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock lunge. Once again, gait, but this time we're changing direction. This is something that some people are very affected by. Walking forward is not a problem, but changing direction, having to change becomes an issue. So let's work on that together. Large, wide motions, big steps, and then balance once again. Balance on that knee. So you have your choice. You can hold that knee for a few seconds if you want to really challenge yourself, or just keep going through it. Music's going on. Timer's on. Here we go. I'm going to add a weight. Down, knee, down. Switch arms if you're holding that weight. Down, knee, and up. Working balance. Think about large steps, not just wide steps, not just digging deep in those hands, hamstrings and glutes. Think about going wide also. Inner and outer thigh, pushing off. Tomorrow you're going to thank me for this one. If you feel your inner thigh tomorrow, don't wonder what it is. Just say, Lauren. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just a few more seconds. And done. Time's up. Weights down. We're going to finish off with our cardio. Cardio probably doesn't need a lot of explanation because it's cardio. We're sending blood and oxygen to the brain. But what you also don't realize is that many people find this bradykinesia, the slowing down of the body, whether it's hands slowing or voice slowing or legs slowing down. This reminds the body to go faster. So, and it does transfer. So let's work on moving fast and having some fun. Timer's on. Here we go. Run, run, and squat. Your choice of how long to run. I may run a bit here, and then I'm going to squat. Whew. Try to get that heart rate up, adding those arms if you want. Bring the knees a little higher if you're not jumping. I told you, it always feels a lot longer. I don't know why. The cardio feels good to me, but it does feel a lot longer. But I'm not worried because I only have about 8 seconds left, right? 5 seconds. 4. Almost done. And done. Walk it off. Get your heart rate down. Let's get our heart rate down together. Nice and carefully and slowly. 1 deep inhale. 4 exhales. Do that a few more times while I explain our third and final round. This one is the cognitive challenge, the brain game. I'm going to give you something else to think about while you are working on all those muscles and all those symptoms. Something in addition to get your mind off of while you're doing that to think about also. So this is just a brain game. Have some fun with it. Our first exercise, the marching bridge with the chest press. I want you to say all the months of the year forward, and if you have time, say them backward in order. Okay? So everybody find your positioning, get your weights, hit the ground, timer on. Here we go. Starting with January, just a hint. Here we go. I'm not going to talk, or at least not very much, so that you can concentrate. You may have to slow down. That's fine. That makes your muscles work a little harder. All the months of the year. Belly tight, tuck those hips, push through, use your chest. Be good to your lower back, tuck those hips underneath you. Push right through, lift those hips. Lift those knees high. Remember, we're thinking about lifting the knees. It's also for gait, not just for glutes. For lifting those legs. Almost done. How we feeling? Guess what? Time. Okay, weights out of the way. Roll over, 1 knee in front. Remember that series of numbers, 7, 11, 15, and 20? We said them in our last round, 7, 11, 15, 20. I want you to say those numbers as you go through the first round, 7, 11, 15, 20. And then the second round, next time you do it, you're going to add 1. So it's 8, yeah, 12, you got it? And then the next round, you add another 1. So you're adding 1 to the original numbers. So this is going to be a really fun brain game. I tried this a few times at home. I couldn't do it. Not the whole way, but maybe you can, okay? Let's try it. As I said, it's just a fun brain game. Here we go, timer on. I can't help you here. I can only help myself. Now, if you're on your second round, add 1 to each number. Slow it down if you need to. That only allows your muscles to work harder and your brain to work harder. Remember, you're using opposite arm also. Try not to let that front knee go behind the toe. Too much to remember. Okay, the last 10 seconds, we got this. We got it. Maybe not the addition part, but the leg part, and done. Great job, good for you. You should be feeling good about yourself, whether you're finished or not. That's a tough one. All right, the next exercise, we're gonna hit the floor for our plank arm extensions. I'm gonna make this a little easier for you. I want you to come up with, every time you use your arm, every time you punch your arm to the opposite leg, come up with a Disney movie. Now, some of you are old enough to maybe have remembered before they were making animation movies. I mean, there are, of course, the classics, you know, Bambi and all those. But there were some really, really good Volkswagen Beetle movies too, that just a hint. And also there was a woman and a chimney sweep who were involved in a Disney movie also. So think about all those movies. While you're doing this, hit the floor. I'm going to turn the timer on right now. Plank, whoops. Extend, extend. Are you thinking of? Are you coming up with a bunch? I just came up with a whole bunch that I couldn't come up with yesterday at all. That's what you get when you have 24 hours to think about it. Oh, I'm a pro at this. I'm going to do this next week again. All right. And time. Stay down, V-seat, reps. This one came up, the next brain game came up the other day when I was thinking of things that my kids needed to do at home. House chores. So let's think of house chores. Every time we move that weight over to the other side, think of something that needs to be done in the house. It doesn't have to be a chore necessarily that you give someone else to do. It's just things that need to be done in a house or an apartment. Or wherever, wherever, okay, things that need to be done. Timer is on. Here we go. Swap and drop. Swap and drop. Swap and drop. Chest up. Slow it down if you need to think of these chores. Pull your belly tight. Make sure your belly button is pulling in. Make sure your hips are slightly tucked. Chest is open. Head is up. All right, that timer is long this time too. Oh, we're almost done. Yay. That's what I'm looking for. And one, timer off. All right. Are you out of breath like me? Good, that means you're working. I'm not opposed to that at all. Come on up again, hand on your thigh, head up, chest up. Lift yourself up, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. This time I want you to think of candy. Yay! I'm going to leave you in a good mood. I want you to think of candy, any kind of candy. It can be hard candy, soft candy. It can be bars. It doesn't matter. Candy, okay? Here we go. Timer is going on. 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Remember, large steps. Don't let that knee go. Here we go. Hold that. Good. Now, for those of you that can't come up with any, how about just when you stand, come up with one? So I'm giving you time to think about it. In between, you don't have to do it. You don't have to come up with them in any kind of, timing. You can just do it when you can think of it, or do it every time you stand up. This one became very, very nostalgic for me. I started thinking about all the stuff I used to get for Halloween when I was a kid that you can't get anymore. Remember those wax lips? All right, this one's going fast, I think. And nice work. And our last exercise, our cardio. Once again, I'm not going to fill your head or make you think about anything except moving your body as fast as you can. This is our last exercise, last round. I'm ready to just kick it up, okay? I hope you are too. Here we go. And timer. Get those arms pumping. Get those legs lifting. And hold. Big, 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 and hold. Slow it down, speed it up. Working the brain, working those muscles, fast twitch and slow twitch. We've got it all going on. Oxygen and blood to the brain. Yum. Woo! All right, thank goodness it's going faster than it did the last 2 rounds. Almost done. Hey, give yourself a hand, walk it off, wipe off, grab some water. You are awesome. All right, don't leave me yet because we really have to stretch out and get that heart rate down safely. Walk around, get that heart rate down. Let's all breathe in. 1 deep, deep breath together. Exhale 4, slow. Do that a few more times. Inhale. Exhale. I'm already feeling the difference. How about you? Let's do it 2 more times. Last time. Hopefully your heart rate is down, or at least more comfortable. You should be able to talk without sounding like this. You want to be able to talk fairly evenly. All right, let's stretch. I'm going to grab my chair to help me stretch. I'm going to stretch my quads first. I'm going to put all my weight on the chair into a runner's lunge. So I'm going to bring one leg in front, 90-degree angle right here. I'm stretching out the leg that's behind, so I'm not putting any weight on my legs at all. I'm using the chair to help me. For those of you that are a little more flexible, you can go all the way down to the floor. That's not happening with this girl right here. Anyway, hold it right here, stretching out your flexor way up here. Just hold it right here for just a few more seconds. Now I'm going to add, as we're stretching this muscle, I'm going to add the quadricep just a little more by bending that knee. Now I'm really engaging all those muscles in that leg. And I can stand up a little higher, still putting weight on the chair so that I'm not using those muscles. I can stretch those muscles and not use them. And just hold it here. Let's all just say ooh. Ready? Ooh. Nice. All right, let's switch to the other leg. I'm switching to the other side. Slowly and gently and carefully. Switching legs, coming up. Bring that other leg all the way out. All the weight's on the chair or the wall, whatever you've got near you. Or you're on the floor, right? Or you can actually put them on your knee, but just make sure that you're not rounding out your back. You don't want to be down here. You want to be way up here. And that back leg right up here, that's where we're working. Your flexor, I'm going to hold it here. All this talking is just wasting time while you're stretching. Don't worry, I know. Okay, let's bend that back knee just a little so we're getting into the entire upper leg. And let's say ooh again because it feels so good. Ooh. Great. All right, let's slide that leg all the way in. Let's work and stretch our hamstrings and glutes. If you want, you can have a seat on the chair or you can use the chair just to hold you up. We're going to take one leg and cross it at the thigh or the shin or the ankle, anywhere, but the leg is out to the side and you're sitting in what is a number 4 or a P. And you're sitting back and you're going to feel a great stretch all throughout all these muscles. I'm going to do this seated. Same exercise, one leg over the knee, pushing down with that, or out to the side, and leaning, not bending forward. Hold it right here. And we said ooh, let's say ah, ah. All right, we're saying ooh and ah while we're stretching because we want to make sure, we want to use every moment of this video so that we're always making something more powerful, our muscles or our vocal cords as well. So let's switch legs. Make sure you can do this on standing behind as we just did, or seated, that knee is going to your side. And we're going to use our vocal strength by holding a note. And we're going to say ah. Ah. Great job. All right, we're almost done. Let's stretch out the chest and shoulders. I'm going to come all the way up, putting my hands on my thighs to allow me to stand more safely. I'm turning my chair around. Use your chair, use the wall. You're going to put your hands directly in front of you. You're going to try to get a 90-degree angle in your hips. Arms are directly in front, and push your chest through those arms, and you're going to feel, oh my goodness, you never know, you may feel a nice stretch in your upper back. You may even hear your back gently crack. Woo! That's letting all those little gases that get caught between your vertebrae, letting all that stretch out. Feeling a nice stretch in your biceps and your triceps, shoulder. Hold it right here just a few more seconds. Let's count 10 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stay where you are and do the exact opposite. You may have to walk in a little, I do, and round out your back, pushing away, still holding the chair or the wall. Push away using all these muscles in your upper back. Push away, and let's count 10 backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and roll all the way up. Front face me, because I want to be able to see you, and thank you so much for joining me today. Bring your arms all the way up in one full body stretch. Lengthen those arms as high as you can. Bring yourself all the way up to your tippy toes. Contract and stretch every muscle in the body. Feel it all lengthening, lifting, tightening. Bring it a little higher. Come on, a little higher. Find that balance. Lift it, reach, reach, reach. Come on down. Drop your shoulders. Bring your arms out to your side. Give me a nice big yay, because, yep, we're finished. Yay! Awesome job today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed yourself today. And if you have not subscribed yet, there's that little blue box on the bottom. Doesn't cost you a cent. Click that button. That will help other people find our videos more readily, especially for young onset. It's so important because there's not that much out there, as we all know. So please, let's get the word out. Let's get as many people as we can joining us on Saturday mornings or throughout the week. Thank you all so much. Have a safe